Hey guys, this is actually my first time ever doing something like this, but I just wanted to share something with you guys. I've been contemplating on this a lot. It made me reflect on a lot, and it's not new, but it was a great reminder for me, and I just wanted to share with you guys. It all started when we were talking with the rest of the cabin leaders that I was going to serve with at a youth retreat that recently passed, and it was a blessing. Let me tell you that it was a blessing, and Team Atoma, it was a blessing. But we had to come up with the skit, or we wanted to have like a backup plan just in case we couldn't come up with anything. But we usually let the kids decide, and they did. We ended up not going with the one we had talked about, but one of the cabin leaders had an idea to talk about the moment where we will go before the Lord, and be accountable and all that. So it reminded me of a dream that I had when I was in high school. In high school, I wasn't completely into the Lord. I was doing what I wanted when I wanted, and not really caring. And just living a double life. But then I felt like the Lord was like, let me knock some sense into this girl. So I actually had a dream around that time where I was making line, and I didn't know for what. I was just standing there. I was just like, okay, let's do it. So then once I realized it was my turn, and then I was like, wow, this line moved pretty quickly. And then it was my turn. I still had no idea why I was making line, but then a man came, and he was like so put together, so clean. I don't know how to explain it, but he brought this big book, and I'm like, oh, like I must be in a library, or he's a bookkeeper, I don't know. But then he opened the book, and then he asked me like, what's your name? And then when he asked me that, oh my god, it all just clicked. Like this is it, And he asked me, what's your name? And I said, my name is Carla. And then he looked through the book, and he's like, you're not here. And I was like, what? I was like, you're not here. And then I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, it says here you were ashamed of him. And then I was like so confused. I was like, what? And then he pretty much gave me a gesture like there's nothing that I could do. So I moved to the side because I didn't want to hold up the line. And I started crying so hard. I was holding onto a wall because I couldn't hold myself up because of how hard I was crying. And I was holding onto the wall, asking God to give me another chance, to the point that I actually woke up praying and crying. I woke up in tears, and it was pretty intense because I've never woken up that way. So it was so real. But I woke up thinking after, like, ashamed. I was so confused because I said ashamed. I've always, every time they would ask me if you're a Christian, I'd say yes, because I knew the whole whoever denies me before men, I will deny him before my Father who is in heaven. And I didn't want that. So I said, every time they would ask me, like, yes, I'm Christian, like, yeah, of course I'm Christian. But I was like ashamed. And then I came across this verse in Titus where it says, they profess to know God, but by their deeds they deny him, being detestable and disobedient, and being worthless of any good deed. And I just realized, whoa. See, like I said at the time, I was living a double life. And I was saying, yes, I was Christian, but my actions contradicted that. My actions said otherwise, And see, again, might be something that you guys already know, but I didn't know that I could deny the Lord with my actions. Because see, I was saying I was Christian, but doing other stuff that I wasn't supposed to. Or that didn't please him, or that didn't honor him, knowing that it wasn't okay in his eyes. But I didn't know that. And it made me reflect. And then I also came across this verse where it says, for whoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, the Son of Man will also be ashamed of him when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. And this is in Mark 8:38. And it made me think, wow, not only did I deny him with my actions, but there were times where my friends would do stuff and I knew that it wasn't okay. I know that it wasn't okay in God's eyes. And instead of telling them don't do it, I stayed quiet because I just didn't want to be that friend, that party pooper, or that downer, or that drag, And then that's when I realized, because it says whoever's ashamed of me and my words. So maybe I did, maybe without wanting to, I was denying him and ashamed. And I was like, wow, it hit me like a ton of bricks, because I was like, thinking about it now after years later, it just made me reflect on my actions and everything, because I was like, no, God, I want my actions to glorify your name. I want my life to glorify your name. And it's not easy. I mean, we're human. We make mistakes on a daily. But as long as we keep trying, because when I realized that at that time, after, he gave me, because he also gave me another dream where he was telling me que me afirmara. I mean, let me tell you guys something, that it's so amazing how even if we fail and we mess up and we maybe don't listen on the first time that he tells us something, he's so merciful and he remains faithful to us even if we don't. I realized that surrendering yourself completely to God is honestly the best thing you can do, because I was standing in the way of my own blessings. I was prolonging seasons that weren't even meant to happen in the first place. But like I said, because I wanted to do things my way, doing things what I wanted, not consulting him or asking him if it was his will or if it was for me, and just taking action out of emotion or my own reasoning, And when we honor the Lord, or when we decide to give ourselves completely to him, it's the best thing you can do. I mean, he knows we're not perfect, but we gotta keep trying. We gotta get back up. Even if we make a mistake, get back up. Keep going. It's not how you start the race, it's how you end it. And it's not easy, but again, this will one day be our reality. And the thing is that when you go to him, he will give you his spirit to help you through it, And I believe it. I mean, it's not easy, but he definitely does give you his spirit to get through it, and he gives you the strength to overcome things, because everything has been won for you. I mean, on that cross, he won it all. So it's just up to us to believe it and to walk like we believe it, With that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day, or whatever time you're watching this. May the Lord bless you guys abundantly. And this may be something you don't believe in, but this is something I strongly do. And if, we can keep it respectful. But yeah, hope you guys have an amazing day.